Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope that you are all well, inshallah. Jazakallah khair for joining and taking out this time and making this time, because you could be doing anything else. You could have been you could choose to do anything else, because there's a lot of things that that we have to do, but you chose this time. And so welcome to all of you. It's a pleasure having you here. Another thing is that Allah Ta'ala chose you to be here. So your intention was to join the class, but He inspired you, and then He made it possible that you are here now. So even though, you could have had a choice, but this is what you chose, and Allah Ta'ala chose you. So this is a sign that Allah Ta'ala loves you, and He wants you to be in His gathering, and He wants you to benefit from this gathering, and all of His mercy is descending on you and in your house and whatever it is. So just take a moment to take it in that Allah Ta'ala chose you to be here right now, and it's the sign of His love for you. Another thing is, I hope that you are all sitting in a quiet space, a space where there is no distractions. I want this class to be a class where you are totally immersed in this lesson, so that you can gain the maximum benefit of the class and what we discussed. So today, basically, we're just going to be doing an introduction, and I'm going to just give you a bit of info about myself and about why I'm choosing Tazkiyah and why I'm choosing to go through the 99 names of Allah, inshallah. And from next week, inshallah, we will get straight into it. So before we begin, so I hope you're sitting in a space where there is no distractions, where you can be immersed, where you can take all of this in. And it can be, because I said, bring notebooks so you can take down notes. There is, however, it's dependent on you how much notes you want to take down, whatever it is. If you just want to take down basic notes, or you want to go into detail, it's up to you. But inshallah, we'll also be going through reflections, so we reflect on ourselves. And that's why I asked you to bring notebooks, so that we can write this down. We can write down what we're reflecting on, and what's happening inside of us and internally. And this is for you. So as we're going to be going through the classes, I really encourage you to be completely honest, because with the Tazkiyah, which is self-purification, it's a big topic, and it's our nafs. So I'll get into detail about that. And this is why we need to be completely honest with ourselves, because being honest and being vulnerable is the only way that we can get to the next steps and to grow from where we are. And yeah, so this is why I asked you to bring notebooks in. So, but if you want to take other notes, that is completely fine, whatever works for you. So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zidni ilma wa razuqni fahma. So before we begin, I want you all to just take a moment and just make your intention for why you're joining the class. What do you want out of this class? What called you to this class and what do you want to gain? So just think about your intentions, write it down as well, because intentions are very powerful. And I always say that an intention is sort of a dua. So sometimes just not even making a dua, but just having an intention, you will see that it manifests, it becomes a reality. That is how powerful an intention is. And Allah Ta'ala says that our actions are judged by our intentions, but also whatever we intend is what we will get. This is what Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said. So make your intentions, obviously first being that it is for the pleasure of Allah and to gain closeness to Allah. And then whatever other intentions to benefit for your purification of yourself, for your tazkiyah, for your kids' tazkiyah, because if you learning, you can, and if you making changes in your life, it will directly impact your family and your kids, and you can also benefit them with it, teach it to them, or impart it on them, and it will have a direct impact on them as well. So whatever your intentions are, write it down, and I will give you a few moments, and then I will start.
You mute or do you unmute?
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So, yeah, please just make sure you're on mute, so there's no disturbances. Okay, so we can begin. You can continue with your intentions. The more intentions you have, the better. So make your wildest and your biggest intentions, and you can do it after the class if if you're still not done. Okay, some people are joining, and I need to check if I can mute people as soon as they enter, but not sure how to right now. So, okay, I'll just try to do it manually. Okay. Bismillah. So, if you are new here or you have no idea who I am, I know most of you are coming from the muraqabah sessions that we had in Ramadan, but there are probably other people who have not been a part of that. So my name is Fatima, and I am a therapist, an emotional healing therapist, and a coach. And this is like not therapy, like the inner work that I started doing emotionally for myself is what led to my own tazkiyah and my own self-reformation and purification. Alhamdulillah. I am not an alima. So if that doesn't sit well with you, then you're welcome to not join the class or whatever it is. But I did go to madrasa. I went to madrasa for a tarbiyah course, and I did 3 years, and it was okay. I'm not going to say it was great. At that time, I guess I was really young, and it's not something that really interested me. I was just going through it, whatever it is. But after madrasa, when I was in madrasa, you're just learning. You're learning from the books, and you're learning from the kitabs and whatever it is. But there's for me, I didn't find any passion in what I was learning, and I didn't find any passion in the way they were teaching, so it's just basically like ritualized, like we're just going through the hadith kitabs and the tafsir and whatever it is. Yeah, some of the tafsir lessons were really good, whatever it is. But I really feel like when it comes to deen, there needs to be passion, there needs to be feeling from who we're learning from, because it has that impact, well, that's personal. That's my personal preference. I guess everyone is different, whatever it is. And I'm sure other people resonated in the madrasa, and they got whatever they wanted from it, and it transformed them. It had an impact on them. But I'm just being honest, and I'm being very vulnerable, and I'm saying how I feel, because I believe that we should be honest and we should be vulnerable. And that's where, again, like I said, that's where the real transformation and growth happens, is from the honesty and the vulnerability. But when I was done with madrasa, I don't know, I had this desire to have a connection with Allah. And it was maybe like 2 years after I came out of madrasa. But I knew that I wouldn't want to go back to a madrasa because of my experience, and I didn't find the love of Allah and whatever it is. So like I would always feel like, okay, I want to learn, I want this connection with Allah, whatever it is, but I didn't know where to find it, and I just went with. But I really had this yearning, and when I was around when I was 20, somehow very coincidentally, we use the word coincidence and coincidentally, but nothing is coincidence. Obviously, as a mu'min, everything is planned by Allah perfectly. So, but for us, it just seems like, oh, it's a coincidence, whatever it is. And so I'm 29 now, and when I was 20, I had this yearning, and I was introduced to my ustada, Abba Fatima Lunat. She had started like the courses of emotional healing and whatever it is, and it was actually quite funny because like the lady that introduced us to her actually told my mom about it, and my mom was like, oh, do you want to go for this? But therapy was kind of my thing, because I did go for counseling courses and stuff before that. So I was like, yeah, obviously this is my interest, let me go for it. And I went for it, or whatever it is, and it really like had an impact on me. So I started doing the courses, and it was really great. It was really amazing, whatever it is. And I did a few of it, and then I guess, I don't know, sometimes you think, okay, I'm done with the courses and I'm done forever. So ignorantly, that's what I thought. Okay, but it really did impact me. So I did emotional healing, and like I was doing, and I suffered with anxiety a lot from a child till that point. And when I did emotional healing, in like a few sessions, my anxiety was gone. I didn't have it. And obviously I was so grateful, because I had this severe tummy ache constantly every single day for more than 10 years. But after I did emotional healing, it completely went away, alhamdulillah. So yeah, but then I just let it go, whatever it is. And then a few years later, when I was not feeling emotionally good or whatever it is, and I was struggling, I was like, okay, I spoke to Abba Fatima, and she was like, you need to come do the courses again, whatever it is. And I was like, okay. And that's when I started. And I think at that time I was much more committed, like now I was ready, and I wanted to make a change for myself, because I was like, I don't want to feel this way, whatever it is. And then I started, and that's when I started learning about tazkiyah and self-purification and our nafs and whatever it is. And I, somehow I just started trying really hard to work on my nafs and to work on my ego, whatever it is. And this is the biggest jihad, because even one of the Sahaba, after the battle of Badr, I think it was, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told him that, this is now the real jihad starts. And he was like, what do you mean, oh Nabi of Allah? Like, we just came out of this, like, is there another one? Is there going to be another battle? Like, this was so hard. And he was like, no, this physical, it's the jihad of the nafs. And so it's difficult, but it's what is important, it's what Allah wants from us, that this is basically one of our purposes in life, is to keep working on our nafs and purifying ourselves, and that's how we gain closeness to Allah. And I feel like, we are now in a time where we've become so like lax, like, whatever, especially with social media and, so much of information. There's so much of information. And this is the scary part, is like now everything is out there. And with the West, they will keep telling us about how we need to, like, we are important, and it's everything about ourselves. And this is not what Islam is about. Like, yes, you should love yourself and you should be confident and you should believe in yourself, whatever, but there is a fine line between it being like conceit and selfish and whatever it is, and then like being, like a true mu'min who is, because our purpose is even to serve Allah, and we serve Allah by serving his creation. So we can't be selfish, but this is what's going around, is that like everything is about me. Like if this isn't working for me, then yes, it's not right. It's complete self-service, and we can get very carried away, but we won't find, like, we're looking for peace, and then we'll think to ourselves like, okay, this is the way we're going to find it, because now I'm going to do for me or whatever it is, and because I've been doing for everyone for so long, and no one appreciates it, so now I'm just going to be doing for me. But we still won't find the peace, because we always have to be doing for Allah and pleasing Allah. So I think I am digressing, but yeah, so I started the extensive work on myself, and like I said, I'm not an alima, so for a long time I had this idea and I wanted to do this, because honestly, this has been so transformative for me, and I have changed so much by doing this work, alhamdulillah, that I feel like obviously everyone can benefit from it and everyone should know. And it's not something we just, that's really out there and we know, or whatever it is. And maybe there are other classes, whatever, but like we don't really know. And sometimes we not resonating with everyone. So I had this idea, and the first thing was like, it was probably from last year, this is something I wanted to do. But then obviously you feel like, okay, I would think that, okay, no, I don't have enough knowledge, I'm not an alima, whatever, like all of these thoughts and excuses and whatever it is. And then I thought I'm going to start sharing it on my Instagram pages, and like I'll do Instagram lives. And in Ramadan, that's what I was actually supposed to be doing. So I share a lot on my Instagram page, whatever it is, but like I don't really do live videos. And I was like, okay, I should do it because it can benefit so many people. But every time I thought about it and I was going to do it, I just did not feel comfortable. So I just didn't, because I was like, I don't know. I recently just went into niqab. So I'm like, okay, I don't know, yeah, with my niqab, but I don't really know if I want to put myself out there on a live. It felt a bit uncomfortable, so I didn't do it. And then I still had this feeling, but I was like, okay, I'm not worthy. I don't know if I'll ever do it, whatever it is. But I guess here I am now. Somehow last week, these nagging feelings came into me. And I was like, okay, maybe I should do it as a Zoom class, it's better because only whoever's meant to be here is going to be here, whatever it is. And I felt like, okay, it's more personal, and only people who are like interested and in this topic or whatever is going to join it, whatever it is. So I said, okay, maybe I'll do this. But again, I was feeling like, okay, I'm not worthy, whatever it is. And the thing is, like, with this also, it's like, yeah, like sometimes it will be Shaitan who comes and be like, okay, yeah, and I'm not worthy of this anyway. This is not from me. This is purely from Allah. Whatever I say and is flawed is from myself. But whatever is beneficial is directly from Allah. I'm just the vessel. And I was like, okay, maybe I should do this, but yeah, I'm not worthy. I don't have enough knowledge. And even with the 99 names, there's a lot of other content out there with it, whatever it is. And I really wanted to do that also because, our aim is to gain closeness to Allah and connection to Allah. But we don't really know who Allah is because growing up, we didn't really learn who Allah really is. We learned very basic stuff and we don't know. So now is our opportunity that if we start learning who Allah really is, that's when we will start loving Him. And through His names, He tells us who He is, like all of the names have so much of depth in it. And so we can really get to know Him through those names and get to love Him and then get to have a connection with Him and get to worship Him in the best way. Because it's, like, even with people, you don't just love a random person that you see on the street. Like, you just now see this person, or the beggar comes to your car asking you for something. Like, there's no feeling for this person because you don't know them. So we don't really know who Allah is. So that's why we don't love Him. And that's why we have this lack of trust. And we have so much of anxiety and stress and all of this stuff. Because, if we really knew who Allah is, we would just be at peace all the time, because we would completely trust in Him and know that He's there and know that He loves us. It's like, obviously, when you with your parents or whatever it is, most of the time you feel so safe and whatever, and like you don't need, as a child, when your parent is around, it's like you're not feeling stressed and anxious because you trust your parents. So imagine if we had to know that Allah is there, we wouldn't feel stressed and anxious because everything is just perfect as it is, as Allah wants it to be, and we would be aware of Him. So it's obviously to become aware of who Allah really is, to get to know Him, to get to love Him, so we can get close to Him and worship Him. So and that has been my goal and my aim for like forever, even through my coaching and my therapy or whatever, whenever I'm seeing clients and stuff, just even through the healing and whatever I'm doing, is that I want people to gain this connection and this closeness to Allah. But I did feel like, okay, no, I'm not worthy and I don't know what I'm going to be doing, whatever it is. And then, I got I believe it was inspiration from Allah. Allah is sending us messages all the time. And a lot of times we are too distracted because we have so much going on in our mind and our emotions. Like, we're not on that level yet So we are very unaware of these messages that Allah is sending us all the time, these inspirations. But He's sending it to all of us all the time. But because of the distractions, the noise in our mind, whatever, like our busyness, we're not aware of it. So we have no idea that a message is coming to us from Allah. And then the other thing is, like, a lot of times we ignore it. It comes and we ignore it. And again, we'll be like, oh yeah, I'm not confident enough, because our purpose in life is to find Allah and to help others find Allah. And whatever it is. So even if you just know one thing, maybe you just know Surah Fatiha, that's all you know, and you don't know anything else. You have this amana of knowing it, and now you need to teach it to someone else. So whatever we learn, we also need to teach it. It doesn't mean that, okay, like maybe you're not comfortable with having a class or whatever, but to anyone, to your kids, to whoever it is, you have this amana on you that you implement it and you give dawah. Dawah is for anybody. It doesn't mean that you have to be someone who has extensive knowledge and you have to be a very learned person, or you have to be a scholar, or whatever it is. Like anyone. That's why for us, we should be giving dawah to everyone, even to your kids. Every day you're telling them about Allah, whatever it is. So we have to be doing that. And then again, I guess I am a coach, so I believe in action. So I got this inspiration, and I knew it's from Allah. And like now He's telling me, you need to start this. Like, how much longer should I be giving you this message or whatever? And I really believe in action, because I also believe that with, when we make dua, whatever, we can't just sit and then make the dua and then expect Allah to give it to us right in front of us. We also have to make some sort of action, and to take the action is showing Allah that, I really want this. So that He's like, okay, I'm going to give it to you because you're making it. It's like when you take a step towards Allah, then He comes running towards you. So if you're taking a step to whatever your goal is, or whatever dua that you want, or whatever, obviously He's going to come running to you, giving it to you, whatever. And most of the time it's there. Whatever we want is there. It's like on our doorstep. But because we're not going to the door to actually get it, we're just sitting on our couch and being like, Ya Allah, I want this, and everything is on our doorstep. But we're not getting off our couch to actually go to the door and then receive it. So yeah, I really believe in action. So I keep saying to I would keep, like, this is my thing. It's like, I am learning. So I know that I have to take action. So I'm learning, I'm gaining the knowledge or whatever it is. But then what am I doing for others? Because like my purpose is also that whatever I'm learning, I need to implement it and, implement it in my life, and also teach it to others as best as I can. Because again, whatever we learn, we have to teach. And action, like I said, is a big thing for me. So I'm taking action for myself, but how am I taking action for, like, to help others in this regard? Because it's an amana on me again, when I die, is Allah gonna say, you learned all of the stuff, and I kept on telling you, like, teach it, or like, not teach it, but like make people aware. That's my goal. I just want to bring the awareness, and you didn't do anything about it, so I'm going to be questioned. And I can't just sit and say all the time that, like, people need to be doing work on their nafs. People need to be working on their nafs, and we need to become aware. And like, I'm just saying it, I just keep saying it to the people around me, that, oh yeah, this is where the imbalance is in life, like everything that's happening around us is because we don't have awareness, like I think the one thing is that I like what I have observed and I noticed, and this is why it's like I'm going to be going through a book called what is this book called? Deepening. It's a book by Imam Ghazali, and it's about tazkiyah and self-purification or whatever it is. But I'm also going to obviously share, like, I want it to be real. So I want it to be with our times. And that's why I felt like so inspired to do it, because, there's so many things in life that we take for, like, we just not aware, we like so lax with these things which are obviously not right and stuff. So that's why, and that's what I've observed is like, when it comes to knowledge, a lot of us are seeking knowledge. Alhamdulillah, it's amazing. Like now there's so much knowledge, and there's so much, like on the top of our finger, we can just go onto YouTube and we can watch a video, and there's all of this information, and it's amazing. And I really noticed that, people are seeking, and everyone is learning. You resonate with a sheikh, you resonate with an appa or whatever it is, you join her tafsir classes and stuff, and it's amazing. You take out that time, you making this effort, and whatever you learning, you also implementing. And I noticed this with everyone, like people are really like seeking and like keen, they have this passion and they have this desire, and what they learning, they are implementing. So it's amazing. It's really amazing that I see that you're implementing, you learning something, you're like, okay, you're reflecting and you are implementing. I think where sometimes the imbalance comes in, what I noticed is that we're doing a lot. So we are adding on to whatever, like we're adding nawafil actions, we're adding dhikrs, we're adding all of the stuff in our life. But what we're failing is to stop doing the wrongs that is in our life, the small, really small things that are not pleasing to Allah, but we're doing it on a daily basis and we're not even aware. And this is my aim, is that I want to bring awareness on these things, because it's happening and we're not aware, we're not, it's like part of our life. It's a habit. So we're not thinking when we're doing that, like, oh, this is not okay, that is this pleasing to Allah. And this is where we have to obviously purify ourselves, purify our hearts. And then we have all of like the spiritual illnesses also that sometimes we're not even aware of, all of these grudges that we hold in our heart, the resentment and hatred and anger, and it is a part of us, but we don't know how to deal with it. We don't even know it's there. We'll just like, sometimes we're holding a grudge against someone for so long, but like it can be 10 years. And maybe what had happened 10 years ago is this person maybe didn't invite you to their child's wedding or whatever it is. And now you felt offended that you didn't get invited, whatever it is. And now you just don't like this person and you're not talking to this person for 10 years. But now you even forgot why you you still don't like the person, you're still holding this grudge, but you don't even know why anymore, you know. But it's a thing that happens. We hold this grudge on someone for years and years, and we just don't talk to them. But like 10 years, does this even matter anymore? Something small like, oh, they didn't invite me. Like, you grew so much, you know, your mind expanded so much, but now you're still holding this one grudge. But now 10 years later, you even forgot that why you're holding a grudge. You don't think that, oh, this is why I'm not talking to this person. You're just like, oh, I just don't like this person. I'm just not talking to them. Like, I never talked to them for so long now. Why must I talk to them? And like, it's these small things that we think is small, but in the eyes of Allah, it's not small, it's big. And if we start, obviously, like reforming and purifying ourselves, it can really impact us. Because, you know, sometimes we also think that, you know, I'm doing everything right. This is something we think about all the time. And like, we're not doing everything right, that's for sure. We are always like a work in progress. We're always growing, we're always striving to be better. We're not always doing everything right, but like, we'll have this thing like, oh, you know, I'm doing everything right. And now I'm reading all of this, and I read all my salah, and I'm reading Quran, and I'm also reading the surahs. Like, maybe if you are in a financial difficulty or whatever it is, and like, you're reading Surah Waqia at night, and you're reading all the amals, and you, whatever it is, you know, you are making istighfar, and you know that istighfar is amazing for everything, and durood is amazing for everything. Like, it will open your way and open your doors. And you're reading Quran, and you're reading salah, and you're asking, and you're making dua, and it's just not coming. And you're like, but I'm doing all of this, like, what's going on? You know, like, nothing is working out for me. And sometimes we just need to see, oh, like, what am I doing that's maybe not pleasing to Allah? You know, that I can stop doing, and then that, like, maybe Allah will open my way then. So we always adding on and doing, but we sometimes not aware that now we need to actually reflect on what we're doing wrong, what we shouldn't do. You know, this topic of like, it's the same topic on like gaining taqwa, because taqwa is to stay away from sins. And then obviously that's how you gain closeness to Allah. And it's the consciousness, because taqwa is consciousness of Allah. And being conscious of Allah means that you are not going to do what is displeasing to Him. And in Ramadan, that's why I said, you know, like, this was a big topic with like worldwide. Everywhere I opened, like on Instagram, all the scholars and the sheikhs, and we, like, everyone was talking about taqwa. It was like, you know, I always feel like every like Ramadan or whenever it's like big days or whatever it is, it's like Allah inspires everybody to kind of talk about one topic. There's a theme, you know. So like, I felt like this Ramadan, the theme was taqwa. And because I kept on feeling like I want, and then I saw everyone talking about it, and I was like, oh, okay, like, everyone's talking about it, you know, I don't have to, whatever it is. But I mean, the more people talk about it, the more it will impact us, because as humans, we need that constant reminder. That's how, if we just hear about it once, it's gonna like come into us, and we're not gonna really take it in. It's just gonna be like, go out, and we forget about it. But the more reminders we have, the more it has that effect on our heart, and then we want to be better. So yeah, so the topic was like, so taqwa, and to stay away from sin and to be conscious of Allah. And it was really amazing. And I thought, and I watched a video of Imam Umar Sulaiman just before Ramadan, and he was talking about taqwa as well. And he was talking about what, like, the list that we can make for Ramadan, because, everyone's like, yeah, what's my to-do list? How is my schedule going to be, like my routine? And you're writing it down and what you want to implement in Ramadan and what you want to do. And then he even spoke about my not to-do list. And he said, that is your most important list, is my not to-do list. So now what do I need to stop doing that is not pleasing to Allah? And that really stood out for me, because it's something that, I often think about, or whatever it is. And when we stop doing these things naturally, we start becoming better, and we start doing more for Allah, and we start implementing more ibadah and in our life, and everything just falls into place. You naturally want to do for Allah. You want to please Allah. You want that connection with Allah. And again, just taking that one step, Allah will make it so easy for you. Because sometimes we say, it's like, how am I going to stop doing this? Like, this is like part of your habit. Maybe, what example can I use? Maybe maybe you wear it, like you wear scarf or whatever it is, but like you're not wearing like long tops or whatever, and you're like, okay, yeah, maybe I want to wear that, but then you're gonna be like, and shaitan will come with all the excuses. Oh yeah, but now I have to buy longer tops, so I have to buy more bayas because I don't have enough, and whatever. And then it's like, oh, how it's gonna be so hard, because I'm like, this is how I dress, and like I'm already so comfortable, and whatever it is. But just making that intention and taking that step, like, you'll see how easy it will become for you. Like, and Allah puts that, and then it's so natural. Then you won't be able to wear your short top anymore, because now you're conscious. Now you're like, no, I don't feel comfortable, or whatever it is. So just taking that step. So that is the purpose of this class. Initially, I was going to go through the whole Tazkiyah first, and then I was going to start with the 99 names. But I decided that with Tazkiyah and self-purification, it can be like a lot, and it can be a bit heavy. So we'll take it slowly. And I obviously don't want to overwhelm anyone, because again, I am a coach. And when I'm coaching people, then we go slowly, like, we take small steps. So inshallah, even in the class, we'll take small steps towards self-purification and self-reformation, inshallah. So what we'll do is, for the first half, an hour or 20 minutes, we will go through the tazkiyah and the self-purification, and that's what we'll discuss. And then for the other half, we'll start with the 99 names. I also don't want to rush through anything. So we're going to take it slow. Even with the 99 names, it's not like we're going to I don't think we'll be able to do one name in one session. So however many weeks it takes us to finish one name, it's fine, because it is quite detailed. And I don't want to rush, and I also don't want to like just give a little of the detail, because obviously we want to really get to know who Allah is. So we want it all, and we want to absorb it all. So we will go slow, and however many weeks it takes us for one name and whatever it is. But so we'll divide the class into two, with the tazkiyah as well as the 99 names. And then, yeah, because the skia can be heavy, and obviously we're going to be focusing on what, like that aspect, which is like a bit heavy. So then that, yeah, it's heavy. So it's not so like positive, and then with the 99 names, I think it will even like inspire us even more. So the 99 names, when we're learning about Allah, it will also help us with our tazkiyah and our self-reformation, because as we're going along, we'll even be getting to know who Allah is. So as we getting to know who Allah is and we like want to please him, whatever, it will be easier for us to actually work on our nafs and our purification and our reformation, inshallah. Are there any questions? So yeah, I think that's basically it. So for today, obviously it was just the introduction. Please let me know what you think. And then inshallah next week we will get straight into it. If you have any questions, you can just type them in the chat and I will respond. I can answer your, if you want to unmute yourself as well, you're welcome to and ask the question that way. Or if you want to share anything. Okay, no questions. Oh, they are. I don't know if. Oh yeah, they are questions. Okay. Jazakallah, Firoza is saying, so proud of your bravery and honesty. Jazakallah khair. I was really nervous, but then I guess when I start, I just get into it. I don't know how I have this confidence, but again, before I had zero confidence, but luckily for emotional healing, alhamdulillah, it really helped me majorly with my confidence. And are there any books you recommend for us to read alongside these sessions? So the one book that I did mention that like my content is basically coming from, so I'll share the PDF version of the book on the group. For the tazkiyah, we're using Tabligh-e-Deen. It's a book that by Imam Ghazali, and then obviously it was translated into English or whatever it is. So you can go through it on your own, but you don't have to be reading alongside. Because I'm not going to go exactly like read and then whatever, like as I read through it and then I come into the session and I share whatever, but you can read it on your own. So that's why I will share the PDF version of it. I have the PDF version of that. And then the 99 Names is a book called Reflecting on the Names of Allah by Jinan Yusuf. I think the book is available on Take a Lot or I don't know if anywhere else here's the book, but you could get it as well. It's quite I think it's quite a thick book. It would be nice to have a copy of it, so as we go through it, you can go through it, but then you have it as well, and you can highlight whatever resonates with you and whatever it is. So I'll share the name on the group as well, so that you can search for it. Aisha said, Jazakallah khair for the inspiration. I joined the group not even knowing exactly what I was joining, but maybe Allah guided me to you. Subhanallah. Yeah, again, nothing is coincidence, and it's not me. I'm just the vessel again. It's Allah. I think, this is something that I thought of before I started the session that I wanted to share. Like, sometimes we think that we're not worthy, and again, we're not worthy at all. We are flawed human beings. But that doesn't mean that should stop us from being a vessel, giving dawah in any way, any small way, or helping others in any way, because we're not perfect. Only Allah is perfect. But if Allah only wanted perfection from us, and he only expected perfection from us, and he only expected the perfect people to be doing the work and to be giving dawah or whatever it is, and guide, like helping people to become close to him or whatever, then the message wouldn't be going on. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he was the perfect human being, and he came and he gave us whatever, but then he also obviously had to teach it to the Sahaba, and they had to teach it to others, and that's how we still have it now. But we still all flawed and we are imperfect. But if it was for the perfect only, then we wouldn't have the message now, and no one would be like, imagine how it would be. So don't feel like you need to be a certain way or a certain you have to be a certain way, or have X amount of knowledge, or have a total qualifications, or whatever it is. Just share whatever you can in your capacity. And we are unworthy, but it's only Allah who inspires us and who gives us this. And again, like I say, like whatever I say that's obviously not, that's flawed, is from myself. But whatever I say that may benefit you or is of benefit, then that is directly from Allah. He uses us all in so many different ways, and that is just something we should be grateful for. And the other thing we should be really grateful for is that he gives us these opportunities, to better ourselves and to learn, and he keeps on guiding us towards him. There's so many people who are really ignorant, and it's really sad, and they don't want to learn more. They just think that whatever they know is the only way, and whatever it is, and it's sad. Like, that is something that really breaks my heart. The ignorance that is in our communities and whatever it is. But what I realize is that it's sometimes, yes, they have to take the action or whatever, but again, it's only Allah who guides who he wills, who he wants to guide. guidance is from him, that the seeking is even from him. So if you are a seeker, if you are always open to learning more and bettering yourself, and please just keep thanking Allah for it, because it's only him alone that gives us hidayat, and who is inspiring you, who wants this for you. We could easily be from the people who are also just okay with, whatever it is we know, and that's it. That doesn't want to be better or whatever. So guidance is from Allah, and it's really something, and he can take it away from us at any time. So just please, be grateful for it every day, so that he never takes it away from us, and he always helps us to strive to be better and to gain closeness to him. May we never go back to who we were, but may he always help us to just be better and better and better and better, and keep on learning and implementing and just becoming better. Okay, I went on a ramble again. To the du'as. I will post the book's name and the PDF of Tabligh Deen in the group. I will also post the recording once it's up on the group. Jazakallahu khair again for all of you who have joined, taking out this time. I really, really appreciate it. It's only Allah who brought us here. But I could have this idea and I can come here and I can just talk, and then no one joins the class, I appreciate that you take out this time and you have joined and you are willing to be better, and you are committed for this, for Allah alone. Okay, Jazakallahu khair. Have a beautiful week. And I will see you all next week, inshallah. If you do have any questions, and obviously you're not comfortable to share it on here, you can private message me. If you have any feedback or whatever it is, you can private message me as well. Send me, if you want to send your intentions, whatever it is, you want to send how you felt about this introduction. It wasn't much, but I did feel like it's important that I share my journey and what is my intention and whatever it is. And I'll see you all next week, inshallah. Keep me in your du'as. May Allah Ta'ala shower His mercy and His blessings on all of you, and grant you afiyah and peace, and most of all, grant you closeness to Him. Okay, Subhanallah wa bihamdi, Subhanakallahumma wa nashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayh. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun, wa salamun ala mursalin, walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.